a little bit of a run through that we're going to go through. So I'm going to do this food safety lecture, followed by questions, and then we're going to play a game. And I have prizes because it is Earth Day today. I did bring some plants so everyone can have a prize. So let's get started. So a little bit of background on why I chose food safety. So food safety is something that I've been drilled on. I used to work at Starbucks, and we religiously live by health code standards because we want to be the cleanest and the best stores. So I don't work there anymore, but again, that's been like hardly embedded in me, and I hear food safety rules in my head all the time when I go to restaurants, when I'm out and about, and I'm like, is that safe to eat, whatnot? But here I'm going to give you guys a run through of what all that means. So foodborne illnesses. So this is again another thing very near and dear to my heart. Obviously we'll get to that later. So it affects a quarter of the population each year. We have about 9 deaths annually due to foodborne illnesses, and it costs the medical system $5 billion annually. So this is a logo for Stop Foodborne Illness. Stop Foodborne Illness is a national nonprofit organization that dedicates themselves to the prevention of foodborne illness and pathogens. Sorry, and then it STOP stands for Safe Tables Are Our Priority, and they really target issues like the one we just had with the romaine lettuce, like having E. coli outbreaks and dealing with those investigations directly, like why are these things happening? Why do we keep having E. coli outbreaks in our leafy greens? So who is at risk? Well, everyone is at risk for foodborne illness, but especially like young children, because they have a less developed immune system, and therefore they have limited abilities in fighting off a foodborne illness. And old adults, so people over 60, these adults have a crumbling immune system, so therefore again have limited abilities in fighting off pathogens. So that's why a lot of people say like, oh, babies and grandparents are very alike, and that's in one of the ways that they are. Okay. And who else is at risk? Pregnant women. So pregnant women are having a lot of hormonal changes. So some of those hormones are cell mediated, which are responsible for cell regeneration. So if those hormones are not being dedicated to building a immune system that can fight off pathogens, then those women become at risk. And then we also have the immunocompromised. So that means people that are already sick, people that have cancer or are prone to other diseases or have other diseases. So what does food safety mean? So it's a blanket term for a lot of things. So it's maintaining a food free of contaminants, and that could make an individual sick. So the CDC states that most of foodborne illness is caused by improper food handling by people. So now we have an acronym, FATTOM. These are the reasons why food becomes and has pathogens. So the first stands for food. Obviously you need food to create the pathogen. Then you have acid, you have temperature, whether or not that food is being held at a safe temperature, time, how long that food has been at an appropriate temperature, oxygen, how long it's been out, and moisture. If your food is sweating in a strange way, you probably shouldn't be eating it. So that's a good way to remember this. Hint, you should remember these acronyms because they're in the game. Okay, so foodborne illness outbreaks. So again, what happened? What happened? Sorry. Mishap. Hello? Sorry, guys.